Well, social media can be good and bad, and there's a study showing that compared to about 10 years ago, teens are feeling twice as depressed and hopeless, and they're also thinking about suicide significantly more. So here to tell us all about it is Dr. Omer Awan, Forbes contributor and physician. Thank you for joining us, and we do want to start with what's behind the mental health deterioration in connection to social media.
Well, I think it's an interesting phenomenon because, now we're seeing, widespread use of social media. Some data has even suggested that 90% of teens have used social media at least once, and teens are online nearly 9 hours a day, and that doesn't include time spent on homework. So definitely there's widespread use of it. And, much of the data, as you suggested, Lindsay, is showing that increased use of social media is highly and intimately associated with increased online harassment, cyberbullying, higher depressive symptom scores. All this is all contributing and having a profound effect on the mental health of our American teens.
Right. And so let's talk about teens in general. Are there certain groups that are more impacted?
Well, I think certainly the ones that use social media more, and it's not one size fits all. And quite frankly, the more you use it, the more you're predisposed to doing social comparisons, looking at the lives and comparing your life with the life of influencers that project and portray highly curated, idealized versions of their own life that often is difficult to emulate. And when teens can't meet that standard, then, that can lead to higher feelings of self-worth, lower self-esteem, and possibly even anxiety and depression. And it affects all teens, not just, those that are of different gender, those that are of different, income status, race, but certainly the effect is more on teen girls compared to teen boys, based on data that we've seen.
Okay. Now, it is important, though, to remember, right, there's other things going on at home for kids, right? So we've talked in the past about children in different circumstances, children of divorce, for example, or maybe children with a parent that's already dealing with depression or suicide. What are some of these other factors that then end up playing out a little bit more on social media?
Well, I think a lot of it is just the fact that, on social media, there's this ability to post anonymously. And I think that because you're able to post anonymously, you're able to say things that you may not necessarily say in person in real life. And that leads to, often bad feelings amongst people. And then, this can have a profound effect mentally on other individuals, regardless of who you are. So definitely very important for parents, I think, to regulate and to understand and negotiate their time with their children about social media and talking about it with them, being transparent about it, having open, non-judgmental conversations about it, and then, also negotiating our time with social media and being and understanding that it's okay to take breaks from social media to engage in real life situations.
That can be hard to do. It's so addictive, right? Do you see things getting better or worse, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence?
I think, it's so widespread now, Lindsay. I think social media is something that, and it's not necessarily always bad, right? I mean, I think that, we have to balance the benefits with the drawbacks, right? Social media gives us, and even with artificial intelligence, gives us a great way to connect with other people, to express ourselves, to inspire others, to produce meaningful change. But at the same time, it is having a detrimental effect on the mental health of our teens, especially with increased use. So, the key really is to balance the positives with the negatives and to be judicious in the way we spend our time with social media.
All right, Dr. Omer Awan, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.